Very good afternoon to all the teachers, faculty members, head of the department and students, research scholars, participants of this workshop, FDP. So it is my proud privilege to deliver my thoughts and share my thoughts with you. As you know that topic of my lecture of today is green computing practices and technologies. Before starting this topic, coming on this topic, let me tell you that green computing practices, this is a very important word nowadays, and everyone is going through the process of NAC nowadays. And in NAC, there is a separate column for green computing practices being adopted by institution. So you take it very seriously that what is green computing, how to practice green computing, how to achieve green computing in your organization and as well as personally also. So from some source I could get this beautiful quotes: the river cuts through the rock not because of its power but because of its persistence. Jim Watkins. Anyway, संत कबीर दास जी का नाम सुना है सभी ने. उन्होंने बहुत पहले अराउंड 1500, उनका जन्म हुआ था 1495 वगैरह में, 1445 वगैरह में. तो उस समय उन्होंने एक दोहा लिखा था: क्यों री कमलिनी तू क्यों कुमिलानी, तेरी नाल सरोवर पानी. माने कमल तो पानी में खिलता है, आपने देखा होगा आपके यहाँ जो तालाब है उसमें भी कमल है, पानी में खिलता है. लेकिन पानी में खिलने के बावजूद वो मुरझा क्यों रहा है? क्योंकि हम लोग जानते हैं धूप में पौधा मुरझाता है. तो दुष्यंत कुमार जी ने बहुत बाद में, कई सौ साल के बाद, एक कविता लिखी. हम लोग को रिलेट कर सकते हैं इसका आंसर के रूप में: अब तो इस तालाब का पानी बदल दो, ये कमल के फूल अब मुरझाने लगे हैं. मतलब वाटर इज बिकमिंग पॉल्यूटेड, इसलिए जो है कमल का फूल मुरझा रहा है. तो ये तो चलिए एक कोट था, दोहा था. I will cover on these points: objective introduction, impact analysis of waste on environment, carbon emission, energy awareness, energy saving, steps taken in computer science department of my place, latest technologies to achieve green computing, and conclusion. So objective, as you know, objective of this presentation is to create awareness about pollution through IT sector and send message to check it. We know that pollution is a very big problem nowadays everywhere. Global warming is taking place. Various cities are endangered. So you may think, or somebody may think, that this pollution is due to big industries and which are emitting large amount of these fumes and various other pollutants. But no, IT sector is also contributing a lot to this pollution, and I will try to tell you, convince you that how significantly this IT sector is also contributing to the pollution. It is not only the big industries that create pollution, even PC, laptop, mobile phones, tablets also create pollution. Your mobile is also creating pollution. Therefore, each user owes responsibility to curb it. Each and everybody has got this responsibility to check the pollution at his or her own level. Unfortunately, low level of awareness exists about e-waste. People don't know e-waste. People even do not understand the importance of wet and dry waste. Then e-waste is far. But we should know and understand what is e-waste and how much dangerous it is. In order to emphasize the importance of this topic of green computing, let me tell you that United Nations has identified 17 goals, you might have heard, for sustainable development, which are to be achieved all around the globe or world. What are these goals? I am pointing few goals only. These goals are zero poverty, goal number 1, zero hunger, goal number 2, good health and well-being, goal number 3, quality education, goal 4, gender equality, goal 5, clean water and sanitation is goal 6, affordable and clean energy, goal 7. So quality education is goal 4, which is also related with we people. Water is goal 6 and clean energy is goal 7, and clean energy is related with green computing. So our today's topic matches with the goal set up by United Nations, that is goal number 7. So protecting environment is our fundamental duty. Government of India, it is mentioned in Constitution, Indian Constitution, that each and everybody is bound to protect environment. I will tell you, you might be knowing, everybody knows fundamental rights. Everybody talks about rights. So there are 6 fundamental rights which are defined in part 3 of Indian Constitution. You people are not, we are not of law branch, law discipline. But even then, certain things should be known to everybody. So, and this may be of help to you people also, even otherwise. You should know your fundamental rights. 6 fundamental rights are there, which are mentioned in part 3 of Indian Constitution, and more specifically Article 1432 of part 3 defines fundamental rights, where it is defined fundamental right. Now coming on fundamental duty, there are 11 fundamental duties which are defined in part 4A of Indian Constitution. I am talking about fundamental duties of an Indian citizen. Preserving environment is duty number 7. Okay, it is the duty of Indian citizen to protect environment, that is mentioned in point 7. More specifically, Article 51A of part 4A defines fundamental duties of Indian citizen, and part 4A means it is not main, rather it is added afterwards. Whenever certain thing is added afterwards, it is given name A, B, like that. So 4A is like that only. So part 4A is added by 42nd Amendment in 1976. And Article 51AG of Indian Constitution states to protect and improve the natural environment, including forests, rivers and wildlife, and to have compassion for living creatures is the fundamental duty of Indian citizen. So it is very much mentioned in Indian Constitution to protect the environment. I will tell you how IT people can also protect environment. So human body and whole universe also is made up of 5 elements. ये तो सब लोग जानते ही होंगे. एक दोहा है, क्षिति जल पावक गगन समीरा, पंच तत्व से बना शरीरा. रामचरितमानस में लिखा हुआ है. इतना तो केवल it is not human body, rather entire universe is made up of 5 elements. 5 fundamental elements are earth, water, fire, air and space. And out of these 5 elements, air and water are most polluted. Out of these 5, air and water are polluted most. And out of these 5 elements, air and water are polluted most, and 2 major reasons behind that is waste and carbon emission. Now I am coming on one more point, that is called carbon emission. You don't think that you are of computer science engineering branch only. That is a subset only, but you belong to entire, that means a community, engineers community, which covers entire branch. So carbon emission is a new term here, and there are 3 types of waste: inorganic waste, organic waste and electronic waste. We are classifying the waste in 3 categories. What are the effect of these wastes? That means which waste is very dangerous or less dangerous. So I have taken this from CSI magazine, that this is electronic waste, e-waste, this is organic waste, this is inorganic waste. What is the effect? See, in this table, 1 means non-significant, 2 means significant, and 3 means severe. 3 means severe, 1 means very little. Okay. So electronic waste, floppies, cables, monitors, logic boards, these PCs, keyboard, etc. are electronic waste. Organic waste, canteen waste, poultry, food processing, animal dropping, etc. Fruit, flower, these are organic waste. Inorganic waste, paper waste, plastic material, wood, etc. Inorganic waste. So what is the effect on environment? See, for example, PC, ordinary computer. On human, effect of PC is 3, that means severe. On environment, it is also 3. On agriculture, it is 1. Okay. If you talk about this organic waste, any waste you can take, it is 1, 1, 1. That means very non-significant effect is there. In organic waste also, it is not much. If you take total, then effect of this electronic waste on human is 13, which is very high. On environment also it is 13, as against this organic waste has got only 7. Inorganic waste is 5. That means, I mean to say that I want to compare electronic waste, organic waste, inorganic waste in terms of their hazards. So electronic waste is most hazardous, and this is reflected in terms in the form of graph also. On human, this is electronic waste. See the effect. Electronic waste has got 13, as high as 13. On environment also 13. That is, it is very hazardous. And other waste, organic waste, inorganic waste is shown by this green. So it is little bit. Meaning is, in electronic waste is most dangerous waste. So e-waste is most severe, then organic, then inorganic. Inorganic waste is little harmful. According to the table, effect of electronic waste is worst. Electronic waste contains hazardous materials like lead, mercury, cadmium, phosphorus, powder, barium, black, carbon, etc. Electronic waste which is coming out of your laptop, mobile, etc. So that contains hazardous materials like lead, mercury. These are heavy metals and are very, very poisonous and hazardous. Therefore, e-waste can cause serious diseases like cancer. This is the effect of e-waste. And India alone generates around 4 million ton of e-waste each year. In next 10 years, India's e-waste is likely to become 18 times, because laptop, mobile, that is increasing in number, and at the same time exponentially this e-waste will also increase. And new electronic equipments are coming in the market, and older are getting dumped. Only in Bangalore city, around 30,000 computers are dumped each year. So computers are becoming, that means in our institution also, a term is called write-off. People dispose of the old things, but that is causing your e-waste. In Bangalore, 30,000 computers are coming out, are dumped each year. So reduce, reuse and recycle, you might have heard the name. Reduce the use. Reuse, that means use again. And recycling should be promoted. So reduce and reuse is in our hand. That means reducing the use or reusing, that is on our hand to some extent. But what about this recycling? Recycling needs new technologies. So here the effect of role of technology is coming into picture. Recycling is requires new technologies. One good information I want to share, that as plantation, if we compare these 6 countries, so in India number of trees per person is only 26, as against Russia per person number of trees is 4,000. Number of trees in India 35 billion, in Brazil, in Canada, in Russia you can see how much it is, 641 million. Population wise, India's population is 1.333 etc. So you can see population is very high, number of trees is very less, and therefore number of trees per person is very little in India. That means India is the biggest population in the year 2017-18. This is the population shown for year 2017-18, and therefore there is an urgent need of plantation. Plantation is also required in India, heavy plantation, dense, and India is the biggest user of groundwater. Therefore we should preserve groundwater also. Groundwater is also becoming a source of crisis. It is said that 4th World War will take place because of water only, and groundwater is going down and down. Coming on this hazardous gases, 6 gases contribute towards carbon emission. I had taken the name of carbon emission. Carbon emission, you might have heard name of carbon emission. Anyway, when this World Environment Day is celebrated, can you answer anybody? World Environment Day, what is the date? Just out of this slide I am talking now. It is 4th of June, yes, 4th of June every year. So, what is the need of celebrating this observing this World Environment Day? Because of this growing pollution. So, carbon emission is a very significant, very important thing, and 6 gases are there: carbon dioxide, nitrous oxide, methane, hydrofluorocarbon, perfluorocarbon, sulfur hexafluoride. These are called greenhouse gases, and greenhouse gas emission by IT sector in the world is 3 to 4%, which is likely to grow 6% in 10 years. I was talking about IT sector, effect of IT sector in pollution. So, if you are thinking, so it is correct that at present effect of IT sector is little, only 3 to 6%, but in next 10 years it is likely to grow by double. It will become double, and you can think that what will happen afterwards. So, in IT sector carbon emission, in IT sector source of carbon emission is, biggest source is PC, personal computer and monitor, that contributes 39%. Printer contributes 6%, LAN etc. 7%, mobile 9%, fixed telecom 15%, services etc. So, this is shown by pie chart. So, carbon emission is measured in terms of carbon footprint. So, carbon footprint is again a new term, amount of carbon dioxide in kilogram or ton released into atmosphere by an activity or a person or office over a period of time, usually a year, is called carbon footprint. Every individual is emitting carbon dioxide, every office is also emitting carbon dioxide, even this university also. And as a student you can take up this job to calculate carbon footprint of this Ghasidas University itself, complete campus, how much carbon emission is taking place from here. I have done it from my department. I will show that afterwards. So, a carbon footprint is the total set of greenhouse gas emission by any organization, event, product, person. Suppose you organize some conference, then also huge amount of carbon dioxide is emitted. So, organization, event, product, person all emit carbon. And there are 2 types of carbon footprint: primary footprint, secondary footprint. Primary footprint takes place due to direct emission, secondary footprint takes place due to indirect emission. Direct emission means by burning fossil fuels, and indirect means by manufacturing, transport, packaging etc. let me clear one concept. As an electrical engineer, I can tell you that you people are thinking that this small device, mobile phone, how this is contributing pollution. This may be general question, and where it is causing pollution, because you see that it is very neat and clean device. Okay, so that I am going to tell you. Suppose this is your house and you are making use of a computer or whatever, laptop, mobile. So you are getting electrical supply from some pole mounted transformer. You might have seen in your colony also, on pole there are big transformers that is giving the electrical energy. From where pole is getting that energy. So actually what is happening for particularly Chhattisgarh, in Korba there is thermal power station, you know, NTPC plant is there, where coal is burnt and electricity is produced, generated. That electricity is transmitted through a step-up transformer, and it is transmitted through transmission line, and then it is received in each city. For Raipur it is received in Godiari, and then it is step down transformer, from where it is step down, and then it is distributed in all colonies, and then it comes here. Transmission line, that means while going through train, bus, etc., you might have seen big towers and big transmission lines. So that line is carrying this electricity which is generated by burning coal. So this device, that means your mobile, when it is charging, it is taking electrical supply. So it is not causing emission here, it is causing emission here, carbon dioxide emission here at Korba generating station. And how much, that I will tell you afterwards. In the news also, IBC 24 on 18th May 2021, I had heard the news that there is an acute shortage of coal in Korba. In Korba also there is acute shortage. In India itself there is shortage of good quality of coal. So from where this electricity will come? So green computing will bridge up demand supply gap of coal also. It will, if you practice green computing, then it will reduce the consumption of coal. So yes, role of green computing. Green computing can effectively control pollution level. Let us see how. So let us see what is green computing first. So green computing is the environmentally responsible use of computers. Environmentally responsible use of computers and related sources. Such practices include the implementation of energy efficient central processing units, servers and peripherals, as well as reduced resource consumption and proper disposal of electronic waste. In our country, where energy is a scarce commodity, because coal is also limited, we need to promote green computing. That is, you should make use of your computer, laptop, mobile, etc. efficiently, and you should dispose of your e-waste properly, and energy efficient devices will produce less carbon emission according to previous diagram. And if your device is energy efficient, whether it is AC, fan, whatever, then it will reduce the consumption of coal and it will reduce CO2 emission also. So I was telling you that if you are using phone, mobile phone, then it is emitting carbon dioxide at generating station. Let us calculate how much. I give you the brief idea to calculate. So awareness about energy in surrounding is a prerequisite for green computing, that is PC, mobile phone, laptop, PC, bulb, fan, etc., which we are using, how much energy these equipments are consuming and how much wasting, how much energy is consumed, how much is wasted. So I am introducing here a new term that is called emission factor. Emission factor is a new term which we are introducing over here. Okay. Emission factor is 0.85 kg of CO2 per kilowatt hour. This is the source. Kilowatt hour, what is kilowatt hour? Unit, 1 unit of electricity is called 1 kilowatt hour. In your house also there is energy meter outside. So units, you say units, unit means kilowatt hour. So if you want to calculate carbon dioxide, then you multiply 0.85 in kilowatt hour. I will tell you here, and this is the source. Emission factor database version 6, Central Authority of India, Government of India gives you the value of emission factor each year. That means it is very much authentic, I mean to say. It is Government of India which is giving you the value of emission factor. And suppose earlier I was making use of this small phone 2G, which was not a smartphone, Nokia X2. So on the battery of that phone it was written 3.7 volt, 860 milliampere hour and 3.2 watt hour. So what is the meaning of this? 3.7 volt into current is equal to power, you know. So volt into current is equal to this much of watt hour. That means 0.032 kilowatt hour. And if you multiply 0.85, which is emission factor you multiply, then it gives 0.00272 kg of CO2. That means 2 gram. That means one small phone is emitting 2 gram of carbon dioxide per hour. Okay. Similarly, your laptop, this laptop which I have got here, that is a battery having 10.8 volt and 4090 milliampere hour. So if you multiply volt and current, then it gives you power. Okay. So 0.047 kilowatt hour, that means 1 unit, and if you multiply 0.85, it becomes like this. So it comes out 40 gram per hour. That laptop is causing 40 gram of carbon dioxide each hour. So you can think how much significantly this your laptop or mobile is also contributing. This is the calculation which I am showing here. Your electronic bulb of 60 watt, that means 0.060 kilowatt hour. If you multiply 0.85, it becomes like this. It becomes 51 gram in 1 hour. If you talk about tube light, that is of 40 watt, it comes out 34 gram per hour. 34 gram per hour carbon dioxide is emitted by one tube light. Similarly, this fan is of 80 watt. It causes 68 gram carbon dioxide per hour. Similarly, here also, your personal computer, desktop, PC, suppose on full load average consumption is 300 watt. This desktop computer is of 300 watt. You can see this rating. Everywhere this rating is given. So at no load around 150 watt it takes, at full load it takes around 300 watt. So suppose there is a computer which is just on without any work, then it is consuming 150 watt. That means if you multiply 0.85, it comes out like this, 127 gram of carbon dioxide it is emitting, 127 gram per hour it is emitting. Just a computer which is just on only without work. So you can calculate for 1 day, 1 year, etc. So ICT sector consumes around 14% of energy produced in the world, and by 2030 it is expected to grow up to 50%. That means whatever energy, electrical energy is generated, out of that only 14% is consumed by this IT sector nowadays. but it is likely to grow up to 50%. And this is the reference of that. Energy saving can be done by technology and by practice, and therefore topic is green computing practices and technologies. That means you have to practice green computing, and then second thing is by technology. So energy saving can be effected through software, hardware. Software means better algorithms and protocols, hardware means better architecture and new materials. How software and hardware contribute to green computing? Software means, suppose you are writing a program in data structure, you might have heard complexity. Suppose complexity is reduced, that means computation is reduced. If computation is reduced, that means little work is to be done, and that means carbon dioxide emission is also reduced. So better software, better hardware, better algorithms, better protocols will contribute to green computing. By technology, by observation, we can say that a 60-watt bulb gives same light as 40-watt tube light, and that is the same light of 15-watt CFL or 8-watt LED. This is the general experience, day-to-day experience. I am not telling a new thing. 60-watt bulb gives whatever light, same light is given by 40-watt tube light. See, wattage is reduced. If you talk about CFL, so it is only 15-watt CFL which is sufficient for giving that much light, and 8-watt LED will also give same light. So you can see which one is better. 1-watt CFL gives 50 to 60 luminescence. Luminescence is that means unit of light. 1-watt LED lamp gives 100 to 130 luminescence. See, almost double. CFL means compact fluorescent lamp, contains gas. LED lamp contains solid. Therefore, LED lamp is more eco-friendly. Only 8-watt LED is sufficient to give that much of light, which is given by 60-watt bulb. So 8-watt LED is more eco-friendly. And here there is one small table, commodity, life and cost. 1000-watt bulb, yellow bulb, that incandescent lamp, and that life is 1500 hour and it costs around 50 rupees. Initial cost is only high. 60-watt CFL, 5000 hour, 300. A 20-watt LED, it costs 1000 and life is so much. Induction light, so much life and it costs 1800. Okay, induction light is used in Mohwa bridge of Raipur. From Raipur to Bilaspur when we come, there is Mohwa bridge, so induction light is used over there, and induction light is generally used for heavy duty purposes. Current is induced in an external coil by electromagnetic induction, and 40-watt induction light is equivalent to 150-watt halogen lamp. That means 150-watt halogen lamp and 40-watt induction light are giving same light. So this is how by technology we are that means creating less pollution, less carbon emission. And similarly, vacuum tube transistor IC with LSI, VLSI, microprocessor, multiprocessor, pipelining are all the examples of technological developments leading to saving of electrical energy. See, whatever research you are doing, research means you are doing something for betterment. So that is contributing to green computing, whether it is from software side, whether it is from hardware side, because it will reduce the energy requirement. It will give more output and more efficiency. That is why it is more that means eco-friendly or energy efficient. So as far as this FDP is concerned, if you talk about data science, so deep learning is a subset of machine learning. Machine learning is a subset of artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence is a subset of data science. This computer is also a type of artificial intelligence. So how these are contributing to green computing? So suppose some company has 1 lakh buyers. Any company has 1 lakh buyers, and company wants to find 20,000 potential buyers to sell its product. That means company does not want to contact each and every user, buyer. Company will contact only these many buyers. So, or during sending mail, when we send mail also, then if we type first character, then all letters come. That means, or during sending mail, if we type first letter, names starting with that letter come. So, this reduces our time and energy in searching. Unnecessary which we are searching, that time reduces. And this is how machine cycles are reduced, your time and energy. So, CPU P is equal to CV square F. C means capacitance, V means voltage, F means frequency. So, short circuit power when a transistor is forward bias, you know that transistor is either forward bias or reverse bias. Forward bias means it is conducting or it is on, reverse bias means it is off. So, when a transistor is forward bias, that is conducting, then direct path exists between source and ground, and this gives rise to short circuit power loss. The magnitude of this power is difficult to model. Okay. And when a transistor is reverse bias, then it is in off state, then also some current flows. This current is called leakage current. This current is very small, and both dynamic and short circuit power are dependent on clock frequency, while the leakage current is dependent on CPU supply voltage. When that entire computer, entire digital devices, that is constituted by certain IC chips. On IC chip, what is the component? It is transistor. And in transistor, what happens? Either it is forward bias or it is reverse bias. I don't know whether you are able to recall this or not. I can give separate lecture on computer architecture, in which I can tell you the functioning of this transistor. So, transistor is either forward biased. If it is forward biased, then it is conducting, it is on. If it is reverse biased, it is non-conducting, it is off. But when it is non-conducting, it is reverse bias or off, then also it draws a small current, that is called leakage current. And when it is on, then there is certain current, that is called short circuit power loss. So, there is short circuit power, there is leakage power, and when logic gate toggles some transistors inside it change state, each state change is also associated with some power dissipation. What happens that whenever some functioning is done, suppose you are adding 1 and 1, then also few transistors change their state. Change state, transistor change state means it is becoming off from on or on from off. Then whenever a transistor changes its state, that means it dissipates some power. So, it has been shown energy consumption of a program shows convex energy behavior, meaning that there exists an optimal CPU frequency at which energy consumption is minimum. Okay. That means it is like this, a program, that means whatever it is, its energy consumption of a program shows convex energy behavior, meaning that there exists an optimal CPU frequency at which energy consumption is minimum. So, coming on CPU frequency, what is CPU frequency? You know that clock pulse is there, 1 gigahertz, 2 gigahertz, that means in 1 second so many number of cycles are generated. There is one separate lecture of mine on YouTube which deals with microprocessor only. I am having one channel, Dr. Sanjay Kumar India, in which I have put certain videos. So, you can go through that bandwidth lecture and microprocessor lecture, in which I have explained this cycles. Anyway, cycle means more number of cycle means more power consumption. So, this is all about this CPU power. I have talked about CPU power and preserving energy. How can you preserve energy? So, light, fan, TV, computers remain on when we are not using. We should turn them off, remove plug, and when not to use for long time. Suppose you are going on vacation for 1 month, then it is better to remove the plug also. So why? I will tell you. We should remove plugs from electrical devices because little power it keeps on taking, and this is called phantom load. If plug is there inserted in the socket, then very little power it keeps on taking, and that power is called, what is the name of that power? That is phantom load. And if you calculate phantom load of entire world, then phantom load is the electricity consumed when the electronic device is off or is in standby mode. According to a study by US Environment Protection Agency and some other organizations, this may amount to 10% of total electricity bill. Suppose your electricity bill is 100 rupees, then 10 rupees is due to phantom load. What is phantom load? You are thinking this switch is off, but plug is there inserted. It will keep on taking that small phantom load. That is contributing 10% of electricity bill. Offices should install solar panels for electricity. Nowadays, green buildings are coming up. This will save coal and reduce carbon dioxide emission. We should not use polythene, rather we should use paper or jute bag. These are also biodegradable. Preferably you may carry cloth bag, थैला जिसको बोलते हैं, from house to avoid polythene bags. We should avoid polythene bags and we should carry cotton or cloth bags. And similarly avoid purchasing water bottle. It is not good practice to purchase water bottle every time. Instead carry water from house. Even if you purchase water bottle, don't throw it out. Rather cut the water bottle from neck and make pen stand etc. of it. There are various YouTube videos available for making decorative items of waste products. Thus think it twice before finally throwing anything in dustbin, that whether this can be reused in some other form. You are going by your bike or car and you are throwing something outside. This is not good practice. Similarly, in parties we should use paper cups rather than plastic cups. Packet foods are imported from other countries or brought from other states. This needs transportation, which causes pollution. We should use local and organic foods. If you are buying food, for example kiwi is a name of fruit, you might have heard. So it is imported from some other country. So you should make use of local foods, because then transportation will be avoided. We should leave margins as low as possible. By doing this, nearly 1 page in 5 pages can be saved. This will save 3. In left margin, right margin, we leave on this page. So this margin should be low, and as many as 1 page behind each 5 page can be saved. Similarly, we should print on both the sides. This will save paper and ultimately the tree. Regarding printing on both the sides, I will come again. Eco-friendly PCs have started coming up, and Veriton N281G was such an eco-friendly computer which used Intel Atom D425 processor. This computer had 2 GB RAM, 160 GB hard disk and Windows 7 Professional remains preloaded. So eco-friendly PCs have started coming up nowadays. In CRT, white screen consumes 74 watt, black screen consumes 59 watt. Now you can guess which one is better. White screen on your CRT, that means monitor, consumes 74 watt and black screen consumes 59 watt. I will come it on again. Do you know that while surfing a website, around 10 mg of CO2 is emitted every second? When you are surfing something on website, then you are emitting 10 mg of CO2 every second. And if it is the case of video or animation, in that, then it becomes 300 mg per second. And in virtual reality games, it is as high as 1000 mg. When a computer is on and we are not working on that computer, then also it emits 40 to 80 gram CO2 per hour. I told it earlier also, when there is a computer which is just on, it is emitting 40 to 80 mg of CO2. Government should install solar panels in villages and offices to overcome electricity problems. Solar panels should be encouraged, and this will save coal and reduce carbon dioxide emission. Cloud computing should be promoted. In cloud computing, sharing of resources is done. You know, cloud computing, sharing is done. For example, in Chhattisgarh CHIPS data center, there are various servers with efficient cooling and safety provisions. Therefore, universities should, etc., do not require separate servers. In Raipur, in civil lines, there is a CHIPS data center in which entire government data is stored. So, it is better to store your data there only instead of having your own server. And they are maintaining a lot of, they are taking precautions for their data which is stored in their data center. So, you give some amount, some rental value, and you may become safe by installing your server over there in CHIPS data center. Tips for energy saving. If we are not using a computer for more than 1 hour, then we should turn the computer off. We should turn the computer off. If we are not using the monitor for more than 15 minutes, then we should turn the monitor off. Monitor takes a lot of this electrical supply. Colorful screen savers increase the consumption of electricity. If you want to search Google, then we can make use of www.blackle.com. You can try just now in your phone also. This works. That means entire screen will become black, and black screen takes little power comparatively. It is a common practice, we leave the websites open. If the website contains video, graphics and animation, then bandwidth and electricity both get wasted, and electricity bill also increases. By not leaving website open, we can save thousands of kilowatts. We just leave the website in open state, and that is why a lot of kilowatts are being consumed, and a lot of carbon dioxide is also getting emitted. So, this is not a good practice, and we should avoid unnecessary downloadings, repeated downloadings, that should be avoided. We should systematically arrange the downloaded materials in a folder so that repeated downloadings of the same material can be avoided. By keeping in mind these small things, we can save the environment from pollution. How to extend battery life of laptop? Monitor consumes more power than hard disk and CPU. Keep the brightness level low. This is good for eyes also. As I told earlier, brightness level should be low. If there is a white screen, it consumes more power. Laptop has 3 options: high performance, balanced and power saver. Select power saver option on balanced option. In right side of taskbar, symbol of battery and plug comes. Right click on that, then power saver option will come, enable that option. In my laptop, suppose on taskbar, if I press that plug option, right click, then a power option will come. So, you can enable that power saver option. External devices connected with USB port draw power from the battery only. These devices consume power even if are not being used, and just connected. If not needed, remove the external devices. Whatever you are connecting with your laptop or desktop, from where that power is coming, either from source or from battery. If laptop has become hot due to excessive use, its internal fan will have to work more. Fan will draw power from battery only. If your laptop is in some hot state, or because it has become hot due to excessive work, then its fan has to work more, and from where that fan will take power? From battery. Therefore, put the laptop in cool state. If you put the laptop in cool state, then its fan will have to work little, and therefore it will draw less power. Try to keep the lower surface of laptop in contact of air. Laptops with Windows operating system have built-in power settings. You can opt that when the display, hard disk and USB power should be off. And there are various applications available which can save energy. For example, select power option, power plant, support system, etc. Put your laptop in hibernate when not working, this will save energy. Hibernate sleep mode, that should be effected when you are not going to work for long time. So what is sleep mode, what is hibernate mode, and what is hybrid sleep? In your computer, laptop, hibernate is for long time like कुंभकर्ण. कुंभकर्ण का नाम आपने सुना है, जो कि 6 महीना सो जाते थे. तो हाइबरनेट इज जस्ट लाइक कुंभकर्ण. आई विल एक्सप्लेन इट. स्लीप इज फॉर स्मॉल टाइम. स्लीप माने जैसे ऊँघना. एंड इन स्लीप मोड ऑल द ओपन फाइल्स एंड एप्लीकेशंस आर रिटेन इन रैम. व्हाट हैपेंस इन स्लीप मोड, whatever open files are there, that is written in RAM. In hibernate mode, it is written in hard disk. That is the main difference. In hibernate, all the open files and documents are written in hard disk. Therefore, wake up time is more. Therefore, when you are waking up, जैसे कुंभकर्ण को जगाया जाता था, वैसे if you are bringing your laptop from hibernate to on mode, then it will take more time, because it has to retrieve the file from hard disk. And if you are bringing from sleep mode, it will take less time, because it is bringing from RAM. In sleep mode, if you remove the plug and data will vanish, but in hibernate, data will not vanish as it is on hard disk. But again, there is one drawback in sleep mode. If computer is in sleep mode and if you turn off the computer, then entire data will go off, because it is in RAM. But if it is in hibernate and if you turn off, data will remain there because it is in hard disk. In sleep mode, the computer technically stays on but only uses a little bit of power of RAM. Hibernate allows your computer to turn off entirely, which means once your computer is in hibernate mode, it uses zero power. When computer is in hibernate, it draws zero power. When computer is in sleep mode, it keeps on drawing a small power. So sleep mode is called standby mode also. And one more mode which is nowadays coming, that is called hybrid sleep. Hybrid sleep mode is a combination of sleep and hibernate modes. Hybrid mode is meant for desktop. Hybrid mode is a combination of sleep and hibernate. In hybrid sleep, open documents and applications are written in RAM as well as in hard disk. What was happening in sleep mode? Open files were written on RAM. In hibernate mode, it was written on hard disk. In hybrid mode, open files will be written in RAM as well as on hard disk. Therefore, sleep mode is high but wake up time is less. However, if while waking up data is not found in RAM, then data will be taken from hard disk. In this case, wake up time will be more. That means in hybrid mode, data is written on RAM and hard disk both, and therefore sleep time is high but wake up time is less. The hybrid sleep mode is enabled by default in Windows 7. In Windows 7 operating system, this hybrid sleep mode is enabled by default on your desktop computers and disabled on laptop, but it is not available in laptops. Hybrid sleep, when enabled, it automatically puts your computer into hybrid sleep mode when you put it into sleep mode. So now I am coming steps taken in computer science department, my department where I am working. So calculation of CO2 emission in department for 5 years because of electricity. I told you earlier, you can carry out a project for Ghasidas University or your department, how much carbon dioxide is getting emitted. So in my department, I have carried it out for 5 years because of electricity, because of transportation and printing on both the sides of paper and nomination of energy monitors I have done. In my department, I have given instruction to print on both the sides. So calculation of CO2 emission in department for 5 years because of electricity. क्या बता रहे हैं? इलेक्ट्रिसिटी के कारण 5 साल में कितना CO2 एमिट हुआ हमारे डिपार्टमेंट से, उसका कैलकुलेशन दैट आई एम शोइंग. आई हैव गॉट वन कॉपीराइट फॉर दिस एंड आई हैव got one CG cost sponsored project. Okay, that is completed. So if you are interested in carrying out some research projects by applying to DST etc. or anywhere, then this may be a good project. The computer science building of my place is divided into 3 parts. Each part is having its own energy meter. That building is divided into 3 parts and each part is having one energy meter. So month-wise energy consumption for 2009-10 in all 3 parts is tabulated in table 1. The last column is showing this. That means there are 3 energy meters. Suppose in your house there is 1 energy meter. In a big building there are 3 energy meters in my department. So this is how I have calculated. I have taken the data from engineering section of university, that what is the electricity bill. So that, and from there I have taken this data like this. For 2009-10 I had calculated. So in 1 energy meter this was the reading, in second this was the total. This is how month-wise it is tabulated. This much is the total electricity consumption in that year in entire building. And as I told, total CO2 emission, carbon dioxide emission we are interested to calculate. So if you multiply by 0.81, it will come out this much of carbon dioxide of kg. And why I am taking 0.81, I will tell you afterwards. CEA, this is a government agency, Central Electricity Authority, is a statutory organization which is responsible for monitoring and calculating statistics on power generation and uses in India. CEA is a government agency which gives you the value of emission factor. So this is the type of Central Electricity Authority in New Delhi. This is giving us the data like this. So data which is provided for India in 2009-10 is 0.81 emission factor. This is the emission factor year wise, and then again for 2010-11 it was calculated. Then for this was the CO2 emission in a small department where I am working, that is emitting 38,000 kilo of carbon dioxide. That I have shown here with the help of these calculations. Then for 11-12 also we have calculated like this. So it is 54,000 kilo of carbon dioxide, and this is calculated here. And for again 12-13 it is calculated like this, 13-14 also, and this is tabulated. In the year 2009-10 computer science department has emitted this much of carbon dioxide, this much kilo of carbon dioxide. In 10-11, in 11-12, 12-13, 13-14, total this much. You can see a small department how much kilo of CO2 it is emitting. Then you can think of this building, how much CO2 it is emitting. And this is shown in graphical form in 2009-10. This is electricity in unit, this is carbon dioxide. This is electricity, this is carbon dioxide in 9-10, 10-11, and this is total. Similarly, calculation of CO2 emission in department because of transportation. Because of you are coming by bike or car, then how much you are contributing. All the activities from different modes of transportation lead to emission of several million tons of gases into atmosphere. Gases like carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide, methane, nitrous oxide, chlorofluorocarbon, perfluorocarbon are responsible for climatic change. I have told earlier also. So a carbon footprint is a calculation of total amount of CO2 emitted from source. So carbon footprint due to transportation is given by the formula distance travelled in kilometer into emission factor. Now you can also calculate the CO2 emission by yourself. From where you are coming, how far is your house from this university, and by car you are coming or by bike you are coming. So in this way you can calculate yourself. And complexity, in our work we calculate CO2 emission by multiplying emission factor with kilometers as or number of electrical units consumed. Therefore our problem lies under the category of polynomial time problem with a time complexity of O1. In data structure you study this complexity and class of problem. So according to since this is simple calculation of multiplication, therefore complexity is little here. And again this is mentioned about CEA, Central Electricity Authority, gives you the emission factor for electricity. Similarly ICAP, Indian Clean Air Program, gives you the emission factor for two-wheeler, three-wheeler, etc. So APAI Pune, this is government agency, air quality monitoring project, and under Ministry of Environment Forest it is working, and this gives you the data of emission factor. That means you can rely on this data. This is how, see, for motorcycle 4-stroke, for scooty 2-wheeler, 3-wheeler, it is giving data how much CO2 it will emit, like this. And therefore for the calculation of carbon footprint through transportation, we have collected details of the vehicle kilometer per year of each student and staff of SOS in Computer Science IT Department, Ravi Shankar University, Raipur. For each and every person, whether staff or student, we have made a questionnaire like this, and for collecting data, questionnaire was prepared and distributed among staff members and students for evaluating fuel consumption by vehicle used by staff and student. So like this. So one questionnaire we had prepared, and this questionnaire I had personally filled. See, Sanjay Kumar, faculty, 4 kilometer distance of my house from university. At that time I was having this Bajaj Discover motorcycle, and this is my sign in 15. So this is how everybody had filled up this form for calculating the distance of his house and by which vehicle he is coming. And then we have applied the emission factor as provided by ICAP on transportation to calculate CO2 emission in kg. And a survey was conducted in the department by collecting daily report of kilometers travelled by vehicle of student and staff, which is deputed here. So in this way my name is there, distance 4 kilometer, bike 208 kilometer in month I am travelling. This is second faculty. This is Ramesh standing here. Ramesh, he was also coming by this motorcycle 200. So in this way for everybody this was calculated, and therefore total kilometer travelled by student in bike in 1 month, total kilometer travelled by students in scooty in 1 month, total kilometer travelled by staff and students of computer science department in bike. Because bike has separate emission factor, scooty has separate emission factor. So in bike we are travelling like this, in scooty we are travelling so much kilometer in 1 month, and therefore in 1 year, now proportionally we can go on calculating. For 1 year it is like this. What was the emission factor given by ICAP? It was 24.82 gram per kilometer. That means if you travel 1 kilometer, 24 gram of CO2 will be emitted. That is the data given by ICAP, and therefore total CO2 emission is like this, by bike like this, and by scooty, and total CO2 emitted is like this. So 9,700, that means around 10,000 kg of CO2 was emitted. 10,000 kg was because of transportation. And for more clarity, that means this is bike, this is scooty, and CO2 emission due to transportation in kg like this. So because of bike, this much of this much kilo was emitted because of scooty, like this. So assumption is like this. Note that students come from, we have made certain assumption also, that a student comes for 3 months in a semester, that means 6 months in a year, then one month more for examination, 8 months, then let us say 15 days more for some clearing doubt, etc., makeup classes. So for 9 months student is coming, for 1 year teacher is coming, etc. And we are ignoring the fact. You can say that vehicle is become old, so it will emit more. So we are ignoring that fact. So drive on to print on both the sides. So this was one thing. Whatever other stand we have taken, that is drive for this printing on both the sides. So I have taken personally in my department during the time of British rule. पहले के ज़माने में क्या होता था, British rule. At that time, there was a concept of printing only on one side of paper, because paper used to be thin and typewriters were used. At that time, typewriters were used and papers were used to be very thin, and therefore people were printing on one side. Even today also in Supreme Court, it is written to print only on one side of paper. There is a writ pending in Supreme Court against this practice. So one can take a legal stand that nowhere is written to print only on one side of paper. Therefore, willpower is needed to ourselves to print on both the sides of a paper. See what happened with me one time. I am still head of my department. NAC, everybody knows. Everybody is going through NAC process. Green computing practices are there. So one IQAC happens to be there in university. That means what happens in your university, few people from other department will visit your department. Few people of your department will visit other department. So in the same way, some people of my university only came to our department to see the preparedness, and then I showed them the pages which were printed on both the sides. They laughed and they said, commented like this: if you don't have the paper, I will give you the paper. So I said, no sir, that is not the thing, we have the paper, but we are maintaining green computing practices. Where it is written in NAC or you can show me that where it is written to print on, not to print on both the sides. So this is how nowadays bond papers are coming and laser printers are there. So why to print only on one side? I am also having in my department the printers which can print on both the sides. So which can print automatically on both the sides. So this is how I had circulated one notice. See, School of Studies in Computer Science and IT, Ravi Shankar University, Raipur. This is my signature, and I have circulated this notice, and I have given a copy to Vice Chancellor that in my department we will print on both the sides and the students will print on both the sides. In a step towards eco-friendliness, it is advised that all practical records and project reports, except limited few pages of certificates, should be printed on both the sides of the page. This will save money, power, paper, and ultimately this will be a small step towards save energy, earth movement by students and staffs of the department. So this is how with willpower you can practice green computing. This I want to say. So energy monitors we have deputed. That means for suppose third semester, a person will be appointed, will be nominated, a student. You are energy monitor, and your duty is to switch off the light, fan, etc. Or if you observe some water or some tap open, you close down the tap. So this is our energy monitor, and this is mentioned in EICT also, EICT norms also. So energy monitors should be appointed in each class, and duty of those energy monitors will be to simply turn off the light, fan, etc. So this is how you can practice green computing. Plantation. Plant emits oxygen and absorbs carbon dioxide. In starting slide I had shown you how many number of trees are there in India. Indoor and outdoor plantation is done in computer science department. Live plantation is done in my department like this. So conclusion is, latest technologies like artificial intelligence, machine learning, deep learning, computer vision, etc. contribute significantly towards green computing. Low level of awareness exists about e-waste. Therefore, government should come up with stricter norms for disposal of e-waste. In India, government of India is not very much serious, because this should be penalized seriously for e-waste. By avoiding wastage of energy and adopting new technologies, we can save electricity bill as well as decrease the pollution level in air, water and soil. Thus can give the future generation a better tomorrow. And charity begins at home. We also owe responsibility to check pollution. Rather than blaming or advising government and society, we should exercise green computing practice in our daily life. हम लोग कहें कि गवर्नमेंट ये नहीं कर रही है, वो नहीं कर रही है, but you should do yourself first. So acknowledgement for CG cost project, and thank you very much for patient hearing. For so much tea is also waiting for you. Thank you very much. If you have any question, you can ask. I will try to answer.
Sir, it was so nicely demonstrated the concept that I believe the questions are not going to come, sir. But sir, you thrown an idea about your project. Sir, we can write project.
Yes.
What are the limitations and how we can go ahead?
See, in DST, ICAR, UGC, C-cost, etc., you can.
What are the restrictions? What are the limitations? Who can write the project? What are
the qualifications? See, regarding this project, one teacher will be PI, principal investigator. Another may be co-PI also.
What should be the qualification of the PI?
No, he should be permanent teacher.
Only that.
Of university or government college, even of private college also. Government recognized university or private college also, he may apply. And he will be PI if he has some idea to take up some job.
You already gave the idea.
No, but any other thing also you may take. One more project I had done for.
You demonstrated, sir.
No, this is a very good, that means you can carry out in your department also.
Sir, that is what
You can calculate in your department how much carbon dioxide you people are emitting, and then you can give a report to your university. This much we are, that means giving this, causing this CO2 emission. And you can conduct this survey for your university, and then you can carry out some project. I had taken, you can also take.
Yes, sir, that
You apply in C-cost, Chhattisgarh Council of Science and Technology, you visit the site and you apply in that form. In that you will have to give the details of equipments. Suppose one laptop you have to purchase, one mobile you have to purchase, and then you will have to give budgetary detail. That means you will appoint one project fellow who will do the work. In 10,000 rupees salary will be there per month. So, because that means he will be assigned to do only this work. So, he will do all the work, and then you will have to release his payments, etc., and you will have to carry out certain official formalities. So, this is called minor research project.
yes. It is a very nice one, and the demonstration it was, sir, excellent.
Yes. So, that is why copyright also was given to me, and this is one that project. And people have undertaken this project as a MTech project also, MPhil project also.
Sir, right from starting the control, it was excellent, sir.
Yes.
And you covered almost all the
No,
everything.
that means enjoy this teaching and giving lectures. So anytime I am available, and anytime you can ask any technical question on my phone. I am always available for these questions, technical questions, if you have. And my phone number, 98271 72100. If there is some technical doubt in any matter, I will try to answer. and that is why I have put certain videos also on my YouTube channel under Dr. Sanjay Kumar India. So my area is computer network parallel computing, basically computer architecture. So when Mr. Alok called me to give a lecture here, so I asked what is the topic over there. So computer vision AI. So I said no, that is not my area. But he again and again pressed me. Then I prepared few additional slides for this only, for this presentation only, and then this is how I came over here.
Sir, whatever was covered, it was excellent. And I believe, sir, almost everything it was covered. Even small details you
Yes,
covered.
yes.
I just wanted to know one thing. That is not a question.
Yes, sir.
I heard that Google contribute more on that carbon footprint. It means कि searching in Google contribute more. So any other search engine is there which can contribute less carbon footprint, less emission of CO2 is there.
In Google,
But the performance should be equal to that Google also.
yes. See, various search engines I have also seen. One was created by IIT people under the name of Guruji. That means Indian only, and various other search engines are there. But ultimately, we go on this Google only. We try here and there.
We start our day with Google.
Yes, we try here and there, and then ultimately we go directly in Google only. That is so much strong. Only thing is that Google has come out with blackle.com, which I told. So that will give you black screen, and you can try on mobile. That is very, very efficient. So thank you very much once again. Thank you.
Always coming, and you are board of studies member also. First of all, thank you, sir, for giving such nice lecture. The lecture, it was so nice. It was covered every aspect of the topic. It was covered. Then I want to thank all the faculty members, our honorable vice chancellor, for allowing us to have such nice FDP. I thank the coordinator, sir, who gave me this opportunity to thank our respected sir who gave such nice lecture. A warm thank to all the faculty members present over here. Thanks to all the participants present over here. At last but not the least, all our dear students for being present here and participating in such nice manner. Very nicely they participated. Thanks one and all. Thank you. Arrangement of tea, so please accompany us. Thank you.